Hey everybody, it's meteorologist Brad Panovich here for SkiSoutheast.com. We have had just an amazing stretch of weather. This season is really just been stunning. There's no really other way to look at it. We've had the best ski season in at least 5 years, and I would argue in some locations we're getting some of the best natural snow we've had in about 8 or 9 years. So it's just been incredible. And just to kind of reiterate that, I want to show you something. So this is the snowfall analysis for the season so far. This is a 24 hours. This was 48 hours. I'm going to show you 72 hours, but let me show you the seasonal snowfall totals so far. And again, if you look up here at places like Snowshoe, you know, we're approaching 80 some inches of snow. Canaan Valley over 80 inches almost. We're really getting close down towards Winter Place. You're looking at about 30, 35. Beach Mountain surpassing about 75 inches. That's by far the most since 2013-14, possibly the best since 2011. And you know that was for a whole season. And we're only at February 3rd right now. So we can't really emphasize enough how great this season is. I hope you're getting out and enjoying some of this snow because it's been incredible. We have not had that long duration warm spell where the ridge over the southeast is kind of taken over. So it's been really nice to kind of see this pattern set up. And I got news for you. It's going to be just as good here in the next week or so. We've got plenty of cold air, northwest flow snows on Wednesday. The snow will shut off, but snow making opportunities again every night, Wednesday through Thursday. Now Friday's an interesting day because we've got the first in a series of strong cold fronts. This first front, probably not a ton of cold air to work with, so you notice there's a little bit of a rain-snow mix here across the southeast. That's because we have a strong southerly wind, but it's really only a one-day issue because by Saturday the front moves through and cold air filters back in, and we're getting right back to probably some minimal northwest flow, but more importantly, cold enough to make snow again. So there could be a little rain on Friday, but the weekend actually looks pretty good because you can see by 5 p.m. Friday, this system's out here. So if you have plans to ski this weekend, I don't see any issues at all. In fact, let's look at the long range here, and I'll kind of show you how this first system moves through on Friday, but it's the second system this weekend, which is an Arctic front. This is a pretty potent system. It's starting to have very similar setup to the system we just had, the nor'easter, which produced all this great snow in the southeast. You could see by Sunday morning, we've got low pressure on the Carolina coast, and on the back side, we've got both synoptic and a good wraparound moisture, which should produce some pretty good snow. And then we've got an Arctic air mass that moves in for early next week, which means, basically ideal snowmaking conditions. If anyone's going to make snow, the bases are so deep, but great snowmaking, but probably a couple chances for some natural snow as some waves of low pressure try to move in one Tuesday, Wednesday. And again, I think these will primarily be snow just because of how cold the air mass is, because there's going to be several of these fast-moving systems. So when we start looking at the totals, basically over the short range and the long range, it's just more snow. It's amazing. Look at this. So we go all the way through next Friday, and a real quick tour shows you, look at all the snow in North Carolina, all the way down towards Cataloochee. And then you come up towards, basically Winter Place, and then up towards Snowshoe, and then Canaan Valley, and then up towards Wisp. So just really good snow conditions again next week. And the reason next week is so good is that we get this Arctic air mass. Now the polar vortex is weakened about 2-3 weeks ago, and finally we're seeing the cold air being moved south because of that. Now what's interesting in the guidance, and if you follow this, yesterday it looked like this was diving further south. Now it looks like it's hanging up here. I wouldn't get caught up in these finer details. The pattern is still there. The pattern really is not changing. Big trough over the east, big dome of cold air. And remember, there is snow being laid on the ground this week and the next couple of days still to our north. So the ground to our north is refrigerated basically. So this air mass has the potential to be much further south. But what's also important is the storm track right through here with a big dome of Arctic air just to the north. That is going to be good news for a pattern. So if you look at deterministic modeling or specific models, you're going to say, oh, it's not there. Look at this bigger pattern. This big pattern, the long wave pattern, is very conducive for snow in the southeast. And sometimes when you see the pattern set up, it takes a couple days for it to start showing up deterministically, because you see that cold air, that little piece of the polar vortex up in Canada, it doesn't really move. In fact, it just sits up there, and the storm track stays active over the southeast. In fact, right here, you see a pretty active setup on the East Coast again next Friday. So I really think next week is going to be amazing, and President's Day weekend could be just incredible, just like it was for MLK weekend. So here's a quick look at the short range of the 5-day forecast for the Southeast. It's all good. I mean, Saturday's the one day I don't think we'll have great snowmaking. I think Friday in North Carolina, Tennessee, we might get some natural snow, but it's going to be wet, kind of marginal temperatures, so probably not great snowmaking. But by Sunday into Monday, both days, later part of the weekend, looks cold enough for making snow, and we're probably going to get some decent natural snow out of this. So the train keeps going. We have not seen an extended period of warm weather at all this winter. Keep your fingers crossed this keeps going all the way through the end of March and early April. We'll have an extended ski season, and I hope resorts crank up as much snow as they can now, because I would love to be skiing all the way through early April. Hope everyone's having a great week. Stay warm, stay safe, and as always, keep thinking snow.